president, and he's also bringing his dad. I want to thank you, Makara, for bringing your family. This is an incredible group here. They'll come all over the place just to support this conference, and we really appreciate it for folks. I mean, they come all the way from Washington State. You got to be kidding me, but that's awesome. That's incredible. Thank you. With that, without further ado, I just have a few slides. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just putting together here. The title for my first presentation, I have two of them. The first one is the cost of democracy, and the second one is the resolution for all the issues that, for the democracy. So, you might want to ask, what is money has anything to do with democracy? After research, in my mind, it's everything. Everything is tied to the dollar sign. If you look here, you don't have to go through the numbers. But look at the slope here. I can't even see the day, but in the 19, now look at it, it's in $1 billion just to follow democracy. Just to want to have democracy, it costs a lot. Democracy has no price, but it does have an operating cost. For those of you that are in organizations and so on, you know we got to come to meetings, we got to do manifestation, we got to chip in. The operating cost alone will eat you alive. We're talking in the billion kind of dollar sign, okay? So I want to reiterate, you remember the 2008 crash? The Wall Street crash? There you go. In 10 years since Wall Street crash, our economy, the 5 biggest banks have profited by over $500 billion. How can that be? Everybody is down. The banker, look at them. They are protected for some reason. Exec at the 5 biggest banks have been paid over $3 billion. How can that be? Look at that. No one bank exec has gone to jail for it. How do you like that? Meanwhile, the bottom 90% are still poorer than they were in 2007. That's not fair. That's not democracy. That's inequality. So it makes a lot of people mad and sad. People commit suicide. Well, you got all the banks still rolling in. So something is not right. And that's all I'm trying to say. And this, I like this thing. It says this is a first-class catastrophe here. That is amazing. Again, democracy has no price, but it costs human lives. Millions of people sacrifice their lives just to see their countries return to dignity and democracy. As you all know, our friend Laos, our country, right now just look at Hong Kong. What a big mess. All of that is for what? For democracy. People died every day for democracy. So this is no joke. I just wanted to bring it up, not to bring too much negative things, but it is what it is. Okay? So I realized we're all overseas here. We try to do demonstration and get together. But I just realized that a campaign advertised on TV reaches a lot more people than a megaphone at a local park. You all take that, whatever you want, but it is what it is. We do it for years, over years. We haven't made that much progress, but we're still doing it. Thank God we're doing it. Okay. So the next one, obviously in the social media age, luckily businesses and individuals can make their voices heard via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and teleconference for free. look here, you know, we have association, we can network, we can do all this every week, every month, as long as somebody is doing it, and you can use all these tools. They're all free. We need to do more of that, but then people abuse the system. I know some folks, they went on Facebook and then they start tearing each other down with obscene language and everything. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about constructive, where you can get on Facebook and advertise like our conference, for example. How many people know that we're doing this today? If you were to just put that on there, or YouTube, make a YouTube. After this, somebody make a YouTube and share it. Social media is very, very powerful. So, here I just wanted to show that democracy is nice to have it, it's lovely, but you got issues out of the yin-yang. I just wanted to show an example of what democracy is compared to a monarchy, or despotism, or dictatorship, and so on. And look, I love this picture. How in the heck, where do you go when you roll with four guys in different directions? It's not going anywhere. You're going around and around and around. And look at the, is that the Capitol or the White House? I can't even tell.
The Capitol.
It's on the verge of collapse right there. And this is in the United States, folks. We're sitting here in the most powerful country in the world. Democracy is, I guess,
almost crumbling.
you know, Mrs. TV, she's with the UN. Maybe she can elaborate on that. How in the hell did we get, excuse my language, but how did we get to this point? It's unbelievable. It's not just in Cambodia. It's amazing. And I'm no politician. I'm a technical guy. I just follow these fine gentlemen like LeFou, everybody here, and learn more from them. The more I learn, this is the more I put down, and this is my own opinion. All these slides, I made them. So right or wrong, it's on me. It's not. It doesn't reflect the association or nothing. So I guess I'm done with the cost of the democracy. I'm now going to have try to provide some solution or resolution for democracy. So, and I like this thing here. It says, the people can save humanity and preserve democracy. Even though we got problems everywhere, issues at this magnitude, but the people at the end will still save it. So to me, there is hope out there. All we gotta do is just do not give up, continue to do what you do. Whatever comes along, we just have to take care of it and march on. So, we all need to know the rule of law. I guarantee you a lot of Khmer people, Laotian people, we went for demonstration, but 9 times out of 10, they don't know what they're doing. Sometimes we broke the law and don't even know it. So we need to know that. Understand democracy and its definition. I know democracy is easy to understand, but its own definition has a lot of meanings. All you gotta do, make sure our people involved in helping the country understand that. That's very refreshing. And also, please, read the Constitution. It's about like 20 pages. Read it, understand it. And so with that, what do we have to do and get involved? You all need to get involved in sign a petition for a constitutional amendment. We've got to have an amendment because everything is so upside down right now. It's unreal. We've got to change it. Spread the word about the petition at the campaign and the campaign among friends, neighbors, and colleagues. I'm sorry. And you coordinate regular organized calls to facilitate local efforts to build support for an amendment. And that's all we do. That's how we meet. Cambodian people, we have weekly meeting, conference meeting to keep everybody on the same page. Understand the political area and things like that, how to make it happen, how to improve. Again, I mentioned again, take advantage to voice on Facebook, Twitter, etc. And again here, we all belong to some kind of organization. If you are a member of an organization, commit to working of a constitutional amendment. This is very important here, folks, these last two items here. Jumpstart and teach democracy to your kids, your own kids. You know, you start from your own family and then empower the youth. I am so happy to see a lot of young folks in here joining with us. We're over 60. This next generation here, these are the ones to take care of our country. So this is no joke right here. If anything, just pass on the baton to the young guys. That's what I'm doing, I want to know who's in that bag tonight that has a chance to run the country. Don't be bashful. Run it, win it, lead. Okay? So with that, we'll move on to, I'm proposing, this is the election for the next presidential election in Cambodia and in Laos. So, prepare for the next election with a new attitude. Change your attitude. The first one is identify potential presidential candidates and groom them, no matter what their background. People are too much choosy. You cannot have 100% of 100%. You gotta identify them and then you groom them. Maybe you will polish them, and then no matter what their background, they can be a potential candidate. It's just my wife used to tell me a piece of diamond in its raw form, you won't even want to look at it. But when you polish it, oh my goodness, that's brilliant right there. No pun intended. Practice, talk, sleep, democracy. If you want to really help your country, stay focused. Nothing distraction. Support any individual, and this is very important, guys. The third bullet here, this is what breaks us or makes us. Support an individual or party that help Cambodia restore democracy or help Laos restore democracy in your own country. I know people tearing each other down. We have our association, we saying we are the best association, the other association is not good, don't support and don't do them. But in my mind and opinion, if they are doing something for our country, support them. Just support, to build, to make it bigger. After all, we're all about unity. You know, alone we fail, what do we say? Together we conquer. These three items here, that's the new attitude. And here I propose a 5-year plan of elections. The first year, and I'm talking for the overseas, Khmer and overseas Thailand, Laos. Year 1, extensive reform of election procedures, criteria, identify potential presidential candidates. We must do a massive reform on election procedure. Obviously, right now, we got to get rid of corruption. We got to get rid of things that are not working. Year number 2, you groom the overseas potential candidate. This is where you actually identify and groom them and find them just like up there. Year number 3, overseas presidential candidates to move back to Cambodia or to Laos to live. If you want to run the country, you are not going to run the country from abroad. You have got to sacrifice your life, your family, everything else. You have got to move back to Cambodia or Laos to live there. And year number 4, you start campaigning in Cambodia. And year number 5, continue the campaign until election day. And right now, I wanted to pledge something. I want you to hear me out. I am serious. I run a business, this is a personal business of mine. Year 4 and year 5 here, my business will sponsor anybody from this group. Anybody from this group or your reference that you put in the bag, I will fund the entire project for that person, that guy or that gal to become president. I will fund everything. My company will fund everything. So with that, thank you for your time. Question. So who wants to run for president of Cambodia?
Yeah.
One correction,
Yes.
please. Cambodia doesn't have presidential campaign. They do parliamentary election every 5 years. They elect by the party, not even individual. So no one candidate running for
No, I
anything.
understand. I'm looking for the candidate to run. You don't just find
Run
a candidate.
where? Run where?
To go back to Cambodia and follow the new reform, the new procedure and
The
everything.
new Cambodia.
Yeah.
Suppose.
Okay.
Candidate.
May I
And then-
ask this? Well, I would like to thank. Oh, you have few more.
Yeah, he's got a few more.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just finish it.
And that's all I have. You know, when do you want to run? When do you plan to move back to Cambodia to stay? And I heard in Cambodia Day, somebody can finish that. But with that, I'm all done. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is one of the kind that I have not heard, and appreciate that very much. You finished long before your time. Okay. Now to come
I
short,
tried.
we're not going to have a question.
You're not allowed to ask any questions. Come on now.
Okay, now
Future democracy in Cambodia.
just want to
Which are we heading?
The
Which
fifth,
direction?
okay. For me, what the idea is, we're going to have a democracy so that we will use that as a model for all other nations to follow. Nations that has problem with, you know what, it's an everyday thing, to use our model to run their country with our model. That's the idea.
Thank you.
That's what it boils down to. So who's in control? Well, obviously Hun Sen. He did all kinds of things to, changes in political rules and ignore whatever he needs to do, despite of the international, pressure. So he continuously to do that in order to crush his adversaries. He even rigged the elections by means of manipulating or using the NEC to interpret the results. So abused the Supreme Court system under his own party, and using the violence and rhetoric against the civil society, and obviously banned peaceful demonstrations. So, minimum requirement, well, is that all the candidates should have a fair chance of competing. So media access, obviously, and the voters shouldn't have to be pressured to vote for the government. They should have the clear voting preference for the candidates that they would like to run. The results should be, accurate and reflects the voice of the people. So what's missing in Cambodia? Democracy, obviously. We already know that, it's a predetermined election outcome. People were bullied and forced to vote for with intimidation. If they do vote for the CNRP, then they certainly, it's going to be as consequences. And these are the 4 countries that I've found that endorse the fake election. You had China, Russia, India. I don't know why India's in it, but Vietnam, obviously. And these are the sources that I got them from. So, what can we learn from the past? Well, obviously, in the 90s, when UNTAC was in Cambodia, we had a fair share of democracy. There were mistakes. The biggest mistake that people always fall and quoted is that the failing of disarming the military, which led to the coup in 1997. due to the share power between the two parties. Cambodia, in the latest one, was the opposition party was forced to dissolve by means of the court. Okay, and Hun Sen was able to manage to convert his a multi-party system into a one-party system. Future of democracy? Well, not within the power of Hun Sen. It may delay, he may have, total delay of the democracy, but it's going to be a change. How soon is the change? We don't know. It all depends on the society unrest. If you have a lot of society unrest, unsatisfaction, it may lead to democracy. So what can we do as an NGO? Well, we certainly can raise the awareness through the international community, telling them that the Hun Sen is violating. The word is the violation, and holding them accountable to fully respect the 1991 Paris Peace Agreement. How do we do that? Well, through the UN and through the signature countries that Mr. Sklar has already alluded to yesterday. And the UN and the EU and the international community, have the obligation to impose sanctions on the Hun Sen's government. And mine is pretty short, as you can see. A lot of your topic has been covered, so I'm not going to repeat it.
So I introduce myself to save the time. I'm Hamish. I was involved in the KPNC, since 2011 when we formed it. Please stand up who are the members here. Lieutenant, RielD, who else? Rani, Sue. Okay. Stand up. Just they are the pillar right now. KPNC. We are sorry that active members cannot be here. I think 4 of them that cannot be here because of health reason. Mr. Kabur, Dr. Nicole Ng, Dr. Bob Ng, and Mr. Kau Wu. Okay. So we miss them. Okay, please show up the KPNC website. Just type up over there, Khmer Network for Cambodia. So there's a lot I want to spend on my slide for 20-minute period, like sharing the same equal time. But since we don't have time, I just take one portion and I will go very quick on it. So let's see what the KPNC look like on the website. Yesterday I have heard a lot of word education, and KPNC has paid attention to that for quite some time. And this is the way we want to contribute, about education. Okay. So I think website is very powerful. It reach people an incredible speed. And there are 4 characteristics on this website. Number 1, we want to be informative. We want information. We want to give a documentation. We want inspiration. We want, other characteristic, that we have a purpose for that. Okay, let's scroll down to see all the large pictures. Okay, let's see view the large picture. On the top, you have the article. And those articles doesn't fit here. It will go to another layer of article that we can view it. Okay, let's go now. On the top here we call On the top here we call the category. There are so more information in there. Okay, you can read that later on. Okay, let's go up. Okay, more. Okay, now. This is about what happened to the destruction of Cambodia. It's motherland Cambodia, how the motherland was destroyed. Okay, let's go on. Okay, this announcement about this conference, keep going. Okay, you see all of this, you know, how about the neo-colonization of Vietnam and China? You will see here, there is a, you know, website, there is a link that you can refer to. Keep going up. Just keep moving up more, okay? Okay. Here, how the hero, you know, Khmer hero was fallen. Okay, keep going. The destruction of life, you know, is killed all this time.
The red button.
Okay, thank you.
No, it's not this. Okay.
Just point it. Push the red button.
Yeah. Oh, here. Okay, just keep moving up. Okay. Okay. This is the section of the forest in Cambodia, and Dr. Lamong Hai once said that at the house when we have a dinner after the conference, he said, someone, you know, at the UN or something asked him, how is the forest in Cambodia? He said, you look at my head. What happened there is reflect what is the forest left, you know, in Cambodia. So he was bold, and that's what he means. Okay, just keep going. Okay, that's the national conscience. It's a different the subject. One is politician, and the politics, and the other one is national conscience. I see the national conscience is start to going up a little bit. Before, it's rare to have a people to sit and meet because we lack civic education. Okay, keep going up. Just keep moving up, more. Okay. This, you know, this is not invented or opinionated, but there is a website to got the link to go with. You know, there's a reference there. Okay, keep going up. Okay, we support the peace agreement since 2011. Okay, the first time, you know, I went to Cambodia. I talked to many MP. They paid no attention to it. Okay, so now all the political parties talk about Paris Peace Agreement. All the organizations talk about Paris Peace Agreement. We don't have any jealousy about that. The more they talk about it, it makes us happy because attention has been focused now on Paris Peace Agreement. So keep going up more.
No more.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
No, I think there will be some. Okay, here. Okay. Average, you know, there's 1 to 4,000 a day to use this website. There's so many on the large side here, and so many information on the right side. Okay, that's it. We are different in many ways. You can shut it off.